Stream.
All
And
right.
we are on. Well, welcome everyone who is here attending, as well as people that watch the recording. Hi. Welcome to Ignite, the first one of 2021. Yay. um, my name is Clarissa Kurtz. I will be kind of launching us off into the Ignite series of this course with this first session. And for those of you who has not attended Ignite before, Ignite is our foundational course. It is very intensive, as being purposeful, very intensive course where we'll show you the daily habits needed to be a successful agent, and also the systems and models that you would need to implement into your business um, in order to be able to close 12 to 16 transactions a year. And this course is going to be starting today. Today is Tuesday, January 19th, and it ends the first week of February, February 5th. So hopefully we have that on your calendar. Um, and really, you're going to be receiving a lot of information the next 12 sessions. Each one is going to be taught by either our leadership, our coaches, and or our top producers of our office, who are part of what we call our Agent Leadership Council. So you're going to get different perspectives on each of the topics. The purpose of today is actually going to really show you the tools that you need to really be successful during this course. Kind of the how to get to things, making sure that you are prepared every single day, as well as during the times that you are not in class, to engage and build your business. This 12 sessions, the next 3 weeks, as we work together and teaching you kind of the practices and also giving you real life experiences, is not meant to be just um, an observer. It is meant for you to kind of take them on to actually implement, like actually the end of the day. So you're taking class in the morning, and then you have the afternoon to implement in the day. And I'm going to kind of talk about really the basic habits. Now, before we get started, we're going to talk about engagement. So welcome. Um, what I do ask is that you take Zoom, or you take these courses as if you were here live. So it's as if we were all in the office together. So in order for us to kind of engage every single day, I just ask that to be fully engaged is to, as much as possible, be on video, because you would not come into the office or into a training session kind of with like a mask on and just like this is not how you're coming into class every single day. We want to see your smiling faces as much as possible. And also to kind of minimize the reason why too, it actually helps minimize the distractions while you're on Zoom. So you could really kind of learn and listen from each of the people. So if as much as possible, be on video as much as you can. And these courses is going to be also all about, it's not just us instructing, but in kind of one-on-one engagement, getting your participation. So if you are speaking, again, as much as possible, see if we can go on video while you speak. Okay. So we do have the chat box here. For those of you that absolutely cannot, just because of maybe distractions in the background, um, go ahead and like respond to the chat box. I will be looking at that and like responding as through the course today. But also, answer questions, just putting yourself on mute. So right now, for most of the instructional part, we do ask you to put yourselves on mute. If you are on your laptop, we encourage you to actually watch these Ignite Zooms through your laptop. It's going to be easier to do versus your phone or while you're driving. If you are on your laptop, there's actually a quick way to unmute yourself. Is actually just pressing the space bar before you talk. And so that way you can just press your space bar, and then, when you let it go, it's going to put you back on mute. So with that, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Clarissa Kurtz. I am one of the launch productivity coaches here at our office. I've been a realtor since 2004. I joined our office in 2011 as an agent, just like yourself. And just with the growth and opportunities here, I have transitioned to a coach since 2013. And my focus and passion is teaching brand new agents, really igniting and launching their business from the beginning years. And so that's where I am, and moving into even growing agents' businesses so that they become cappers. So as a kind of a really quick, just to encourage and get to know each other, because you guys are going to be pretty much together the next 12 sessions, one at a time. I'd love for you to kind of just a quick intro of like who you are, maybe when you joined your office or when you got licensed, and what is one thing you would like to take away from the next 3 weeks to really build your business. So I'm going to kind of go in order with my screen. So I'm going to start with Christine Isadora.
Hi, my name is Christine. I've had my license for about 3 years, but I literally just started to pursue my license about 3 months ago. I am on Carl's team. Let's see, I am currently in property management as well, but I'm just like the assistant of it. So my thing is I just need to be consistent and having to reach out to clients and just learning the business, as in how to do contracts and how to reach out to potential clients as well.
Great. Thank you. Welcome, Christine.
Hi, thanks.
And next is Cal. Hopefully Cal can introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely fantastic here. I'm trying to get something situated here. Yeah, of course, my name is Cal. I moved here from Texas, great state of California here, Golden State. Um, got licensed here shortly last year. Of course, I'm on Coach Clarissa's team. Uh, and if I heard you right, I had stepped away for a minute. I think you want to know a key takeaway of what we want to get out of Ignite, correct?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, basically just learning the business. As a new agent, I'm always asking questions, just eager, just trying to soak it all up like a sponge. Of course, I know I won't remember everything, but just be a good student. Like Gary Keller said, you work to learn for a short duration of time. So,
Great. Thank you, Cal.
you're welcome.
Bernardo.
Hi, can you hear me on the mic?
Yes.
Hi, good morning. I'm Bernardo. My pronouns are he and him. I got my license at the beginning of December. I took my coursework in June, and I just kept on working for several months until I was available to take the test. I chose Keller Williams Metro within a couple of weeks after that. The motive for me getting to real estate was primarily to support my mother and father in their financial transition as they age. And now I have a larger interest in having a supplemental income longer term. But currently, I work in community development and disaster response. It's a busy season for me.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, and in terms of a goal, I guess I would say a sense of literacy on navigating paperwork and transactions and understanding the market.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you. Aida.
Hi, my name is Aida Hernandez. I recently became licensed in August, and I went through Keller Williams School and signed on with Keller Williams. My goal is to rebrand myself. I've just come out of and retired from the educational field, so I've been in education for 26 plus years. So I'm known to everyone as the teacher, the principal, and I want people to know me now as the realtor. So I'm hoping to gain a lot of branding tips on how to rebrand myself.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm sure you'll get a lot from as we move along with the different instructors. Madison.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Madison, and I became licensed in November and joined the office in November as well. I am on Alicia's team, and what I most want to learn is just how to build a successful business and just be present and learn as much as I can from the entire Ignite course.
And I'm sure you will learn a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Madison. Melissa.
Am I unmuted? Hi.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Melissa Darcy. I've actually been licensed for about 3.5 years, and I did have a transaction with the previous brokerage, but I've also owned my business in the events and catering business for 23 years, and I got pulled away with all of a sudden being very busy. And as you all can imagine, with 2020 and COVID, events don't exist right now. So my previous business, I haven't closed the doors, but I did have to let go of my staff. And I just thought, well, I've been wanting a change after doing something like that for 23 years. That's why I got licensed. And this was a great opportunity. And I actually got headhunted by someone, and they directed me to this office. I met Steven, fell in love with him. Then I had calls with Coach K, Carl, with a couple other team members here today on the Ignite. Good to see you guys. And totally fell in love with him too and his message. And I joined about a month and a half ago, and I'm still like learning and doing everything. It's a very different experience than I had my previous broker, who I didn't even hear from for 2 years. So got a little discouraged with all that, and really happy to be with such a hands-on brokerage with such opportunities and training. And part of my takeaway from our goal at the end of the Ignite sessions is that I will be ready to like get out there and hit the road with like all the knowledge that I really need to have to continue forward. Thanks.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Nicola.
Hi, my name is Nicola Petkovic, and I just recently moved from San Francisco to San Diego. I got my license in July, and this is the first brokerage I joined. So I joined back in late November, and I'm looking forward to work with the team. Also, from Ignite, I'm trying to learn as much about the business as I can. So that's about it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yanith.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Janet Pia Vicencio. I got my license in March, and I joined Keller Williams in August, I think. I just started here because I'm a cert, and then I wanted to do it for like years ago, but I never really look into it like as a serious thing to do. But then my husband said that the kids are getting older, and now I had the time to start continuing my education, and if real estate is something that I wanted to take this, and I did it little by little. I got my license in March, and then the pandemic hit. So, and I think it was a good thing because now restaurant industry is not doing well. So, I hope to change my career and to be a real estate agent now. And what I hope to get from Ignite is to learn how to do everything basically because I'm new. But I know since August to here right now, everything has been so great. All the coaches are, I don't know if you guys are hearing me, but all the coaches are really good. I like that this company helps us a lot, give us all the how you call it, all the tools to be successful. So that's why I'm here.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. I think there was one other person, but I don't see her now, Stacy. So hopefully you can jump back in, Stacy, um, on this call. So are you guys hearing me okay? I got a little bit blipped on my Zoom. Okay. Freaked me out. So anyhow, um, so if there, I just want to just kind of to be mindful because I am going to be switching between sharing my screen, kind of turning it on and off. There's going to be kind of a quick video. If for some reason you can't hear any audio or see me at all, can you please make comments on the chat box? So that way, because I am kind of being mindful of that. So just to let you know, as far as like technical blips, just let you know it's a blip and we roll with it. I think that's what we're learning from 2020, right? Because kind of roll with the waves. So with that, I'm going to jump in. So I'm going to share my screen. So just checking in, you guys see my screen? You can give me a thumbs up. There should be kind of emojis on there. Awesome, cool. All right, so we are in the first session of Ignite. So does everybody have the schedule of Ignite as far as the classes are concerned? Okay, so if you haven't, just want to kind of give you a quick reminder about our schedule. Tomorrow's class, there are no trainings tomorrow on Wednesday. Did everyone kind of see that notice? So I'm gonna just be mindful. Session 2, there's no classes, there's no tea meeting tomorrow, there's no scripts tomorrow, there's no just anything tomorrow. Anything that was for Ignite. Session 2 is actually been moved to Monday of next week. So next week, from Monday through Friday, you have Ignite going from 10 to 12, okay? So please be mindful of that. Next week is the only day where it's 5 days a week. It's Monday through Friday, 10 to 12. And session 2, or power session 2, which is called Build Your Database, is actually been moved to Monday. So I know that can be a little bit confusing, but I want you to be mindful. Build Your Business is going to be on Monday. The rest of the Ignite schedule on Thursday and Friday are the same. So we just kind of moved from Wednesday's class to Monday. So that's the only week next week where it's 5 days a week, okay? So you're going to see a bunch of reminders on the Metro Facebook page. And I just want to make sure, is everybody here on the Metro page, on the Facebook page? Is there anyone who is not? Okay. So I just want us to make sure that's where we kind of see those announcements. So the first thing of preparing for Ignite is let me move this. Where do you find the Ignite materials? So make sure you go to, and I'm going to put the link, just to make it easier, I'm going to copy the link onto the chat box. And for those of you that are watching the recording, you go to kwconnect.com/page/ignite-student. kwconnect.com/page/ignite-student. And you want to use today to download all the materials that you need. So it is your responsibility to download them. They're all in PDF, okay? I'm going to show you where to download it. And I'm going to warn you, though, if you try to print all of them, who kind of likes things printed, like hard copies or anybody? Okay, I'm going to show you where to purchase it for cheap, because if you were to print it yourself, it's about 500 pages, two-sided. It's a thick book. So just to let you know, I don't think you can see it because of my, no, you can't see it. Never mind. Actually, let me turn off my video. Let me stop share for a sec. And turn off my background so you can see this. All right, so this is how thick it is. It's a 4-inch binder if you were to try to print this yourself. So I'm going to show you what, I'm going to jump back in. We're going to show you what to download. And then I'm going to show you if you really want to purchase it, it's going to take time. So I don't know if you'll get it in time by the time this class ends. But as a reference, I'm going to show you where to purchase it. Okay. So let me change everything back. And share my screen. All right, so here, there's a couple things in each session. So you will notice that this is actually organized kind of per class. So today, if you haven't already, the manual in each section is the one that says US. So this one for today's class is Power Session Manual US. Make sure you download the ones that say US. And because Canada, and then the one in French, if you want to, learn two things at once, I guess, you definitely don't want the Canada version. So download all of these manuals. As I mentioned, Wednesday's class, this Build Your Business, this Power Session 2 manual, that's for Monday. That's next week. So Thursday, if you're preparing for Thursday, you want to make sure you download Power Session 3 manual, and then so forth. Everyone got that? So that's the manual. So you'll see all 12 sessions. The next thing is there's a lot of video, kind of supplemental video that kind of go with the theme of each day. So Power Session, the item that says mission is to help you prepare for the session. So for instance, this mission number 1, you would download those PDFs, and there's some things that say watch or read, and you'll see some videos here or some links to setting up KW tools. So just to kind of let you know, this is where you want to download that. So for Thursday, if you go to Power Session 3 mission, you're going to see a little video about lead generation. So you're going to see some things in here. Now, the only thing is that there's going to be some information that says something about e-edge, the technology e-edge. Just want to let you know we're not using e-edge. So if you want to write notes, e-edge, we're using command instead. So anything that says e-edge, we're using command. I want to make sure, does everybody have command set up? Okay, awesome. All right, so those are the things. And then just if you scroll down, you're going to see additional resources. What I would recommend, there's 3 things on the left side of here to download. Here's 10 things every real estate agent should know about mortgage lending. That is a really good piece for all of you that are wanting to learn more about mortgage lending. Agent Ignite Toolkit will actually have templates and forms for you that you will see throughout the Ignite materials. And then finally, Ignite scripts. Ignite scripts is actually kind of a PDF of about 50 or so scripts, kind of outline exactly what to say. So this would be useful for somebody who, who is more like kinesthetic or needs to read something first, not just hear it. This is a really good way to like really know and practice your scripts. And it also includes some templates of like creating note cards. And we're going to talk about that. And then finally, with the buyer, preparing for a buyer consultation and a listing consultation, you're going to see references in Ignite, the Ignite materials. It talks about the listing presentation. So this is, these presentations here are not the same as Command. However, if you like the flow of these presentations, you definitely can download them. I believe they're Word documents, but you can like change them into Google Docs and you'll be able to like tweak them for your needs. So just as a resource for you. So I would recommend today just downloading all the missions and the manuals and those tools. And then that way you're ready for the rest of Ignite. Questions or comments on that?
I have a question.
Yep.
Back to those of us who like to have it in our hands. Is there any possibility we could print at the office and or like pay for that somehow?
I would probably recommend, so I'm going to show you what's cheaper, because if you were to try to print this in the office, you only get the first 100 black and white pages for free. And like I said, it's about 1,000 pages.
Okay.
So, and it's per page, it is, let's just say it's cheaper, and I'm going to show you where to purchase it. It would be cheaper to buy it, not try to print it yourself here.
Makes sense.
It will, I mean, unless you just want to, but I'm gonna tell you that it really is like literally you're saved half the cost.
Yeah.
Per page, because you only get the first month, you only get the first 100 prints free.
And digitally, is there a way we can string all the files together, or do we?
You would have to do that you would have to do that yourself.
Okay.
There really isn't like one like way. There isn't a, I mean, you could like create a zip file and things like that, but just kind of to let you know, it's not in here. It's not like one big file. There's no way. The size is so big, it's not gonna be able to download it that way.
Gotcha.
So let me show you. Let's see. I think if I. So here is where I'll show you where you can buy it or purchase it. So this is kind of the main Ignite kind of section in KW Connect. But if you scroll down and you go to purchase course materials, so I put the link on here. If you go here and go purchase course materials, you can scroll down to Ignite and make sure you choose student. And then make sure it says US, but notice it's only $25. So what it is it's $25 either plus shipping, and it goes through like Office Depot, I think. But it will be in a binder printed and it will be sectioned with tabs. Actually, let me just, I'm going to put the direct link to here. I think that's just faster. There, that's the direct link. So you will need to log in with your KW login information if you're not seeing the order form, by the way. So this is the direct link to purchase the Ignite materials, $25. That's going to be honestly the cheapest way. We've had students find out later how much it is after they try to print it in the office. It's closer to 60 and 70 bucks. So Questions on where to find the materials. All right. So let's go back. Each course, just to let you know, is kind of taught a little bit like a college course where each instructor, they're not going to go word for word or page for page in the Ignite manual, just really like the highlights, especially with our time that we have. Okay. All right. If you have downloaded the Ignite materials, this essentially is pages 9 through 13 on the manual, the student manual, about the 6 personal perspectives. Oops. About the 6 personal perspectives. So the 6 personal perspectives is based on Gary Keller. And he actually he did research. He's Gary Keller, our founder of Keller Williams. He's a big researcher. He likes to research, really look at trends. And so one of the questions when he was building this business is really kind of find out what is it that differentiates those who achieves at a high level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much. When he was interviewing top agents, what made them so successful based on all of these agents that are in the business that are not as successful in their business? And really it's based on kind of narrowing it down to these 3 different aspects. It's their mindset, their attitude, and approach in life. And what he did is narrow down to these 6 personal perspectives. So I'm just going to quickly go over these 6 personal perspectives and just highlight 1 or 2. So the first one is self-mastery. It's a commitment to self-mastery. So just kind of, again, engagement. What do you think, what would be your definition of self-mastery when you hear that term? Anyone to chime in?
I would say, self-mastery is basically, maybe it could be something like accomplishments or some goals or something that you want to get better at. Practice make perfect, I guess, for lack of better terminology.
It is. Thank you. It is kind of encompassing that. It's really being able to, it's actually two things. It's kind of knowing your goals and also getting to know what your strengths are, but also what your weaknesses are, and kind of acquiring skills to really build you up to the next level. And so Ignite kind of helps with that skill set, to be able to build your skills, to know what to do, what really takes to build a successful real estate business, and also the models and systems to drive that. So the next thing is the commitment to the 80-20 principle. So who would like to explain what is the 80-20 principle, or your understanding of it? Who else would like to chime in? Don't be shy. Who's heard of the 80? Okay, Christine.
I think it's 20% of your actions and then 80% of your results. Kind of like working out, I would say.
It's true, right? It's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. It's the what are the top 20% of those activities that's going to drive the results? Because Christine brought up a really great point. It's kind of like working out and getting to your health goals. What do you think is that 20% that's going to actually attribute to 80% of your success in your health goals for a lot of people?
Well, I think it's like 20% of going to the gym and then 80% of your diet.
Right? Absolutely, right? It really is, right? But what do most people like to focus on instead? They like to focus on they like to focus on that 20% of like, oh, let me just work out every day. And what I always hear from my health coaches is that you cannot out exercise your diet. You really can't. So the biggest change is the diet, and it's the having to be consistent with that. So when we talk about this in real estate, because this 80-20 principle really does apply to a lot of aspects of our life, but also real estate. So when building or having a successful business, what do you think top agents really focus on? What is their 20%? Because they don't actually focus on all the things. There's a lot of things we need to do for real estate. Actually, there's 196 tasks an agent has to do for their real estate business. 196 tasks. But only 20% really matter in order to kind of build your business, but also kind of produce the income that you desire. So what do you think that 20% is?
Consistency.
So that is kind of the method, but what is the activity? Thank you for that. What is the one really activity they really need to build to focus on?
Relationships.
It's actually lead generation. That's the number one thing. Because without people, can you really have a real estate business?
Nope.
So it is actually kind of building that that principle of, especially when you start, you have to have people. You have to lead generate. And so we're going to kind of talk about that concept of lead generating, and Ignite is helping you to focus on that during this time. All right. The next thing is step 3 is move from E to P. So you'll want to jot this down. E stands for entrepreneurial, and P stands for purposeful. So you're going from being entrepreneurial to purposeful. So let me show you to kind of understand what that is, just a quick graph. Let's see. Nope. Let me kind of scroll this down. And I will share this graph with you so you can download it. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. So I actually put it on the chat box so you can actually download this. I like to actually have this graph to remind myself of really when I'm focused on my business, kind of why I'm doing it. Is that E stands for entrepreneurial, but it's also kind of the process of just kind of doing what comes naturally, right? You all are excited about building your business. And so you kind of do things up to a certain point where then it becomes until you get to a ceiling where you then become uncomfortable. And top agents know that in order for them to grow their business or to have their business that they want and hit their goals, they need to be focused on being more purposeful and doing things that know works, but being more purposeful about it. So it talks about being focused, making sure we're following models and systems, accountability, and even being purposeful. So an example of that, actually, let me give you an example of that through a video. That would be helpful. Let's see. So can you all see this video? Oops. Let me start this video over. So this is an example of being moving from E to P. Oops. Is the audio coming out okay? Can you hear the audio? No.
No audio.
Experienced moving.
Hold on. Let me try this again.
From E to P.
Can you hear it now?
Yes. The flashlight.
Hi, I'm Brenda Benson, and I've experienced moving from E to P, entrepreneurial to purposeful. And I want to share a personal story with you about how that happened in my own career. As I entered the real estate field, I began to lead generate. And in my lead generation process, I just kind of winged it. That's what I call E. I was not purposeful. I lead generated when it was convenient. I lead generated when I was around familiar faces. I lead generated when I was in a familiar environment. And guess what? My results reflected the haphazardness of that lead generation. When I became purposeful, my results showed that purposefulness. As I looked to pick up the phone and make those calls, and I blocked time for my lead generation, my appointments went up. When my appointments went up, my actual results reflected those appointments. So I know in my own life, just through lead generating and knowing when I was in E versus when I was in P, that my results were different when I became a purposeful lead generator. And I know that can happen for you. So let me share with you 5 quick concepts that really helped me move from E to P. Number 1, focus. Focus on that 20%. Number 2, create strategies and action items that will support you staying in that focused 20%. Number 3, follow the model. The next item would be to install and implement the systems. Implement systems that support the model. And finally, number 5, be accountable. Make sure that you're tracking and you're looking at, as I was, the entrepreneurial piece versus the purposeful piece. So if you are willing to embrace these 5 quick concepts that I just shared with you, your world can change just like mine has. Are you willing to move from entrepreneurial to purposeful?
Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you guys as far as the entrepreneurial to purposeful, to just really kind of understand really what that means and how that's going to be reflected as you build your business. And I would say that it doesn't matter what skill level you are, or how many years you've been in this business, everybody will always hit this fundamental ceiling of achievement before they get to the next step or the next level of their business, of where they want to go. So just know that even years in the business, many top agents still kind of see this happen over and over again. So any quick ahas from the video? Like 1 or 2 people that want to share?
There is no substitute for tenacity.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Bernardo. 1 more. Maybe someone who hasn't shared before. I saw some of you writing notes, so. Melissa?
I was actually just going to jump in. Being an entrepreneur for so many years, I realized I didn't spend that much time lead generating after a while, because I didn't have to, because my business was so referral based.
Mm-hmm.
So an aha for me is that's probably the one big thing I have to, or the one thing, right, that I have to really concentrate on, is getting the knowledge to learn to do that properly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I would say not just the knowledge, part of being learning based is getting into action as quickly as possible, right? True knowledge doesn't happen unless the action follows, right? The experience is where you probably get the most knowledge than just learning from somebody else. So great job. Anyone else? Okay, so that is step number 3, E to P. So I really wanted to kind of take time to go over that. The next one is step 4, being learning based, the foundation of your action plan. And as I mentioned, effective learning is basically the foundational piece underneath just doing the actions. So it's kind of a twofold. For us, in order to be a top agents, know that although they are constantly learning, being a student, it's more of the apprentice aspect than just a student. Because what's the concept of a student? What do you think, kind of like the if you have a student mindset, really, what does that mean?
It might imply that you take a passive role in your learning process and you just receive rather than taking initiative and making mistakes.
Correct. So instead of just being a student, which for what I like to call, I don't like to call you guys or just refer to you all as Ignite students, because really that's not the point of this course, is that you guys are future cappers. You guys are cappers in training. You are top agents in our eyes, and really it's kind of how we can help guide you to be that and kind of experience that, right? So is there not going to be growing pains in order to be a future capper right now? As you grow, as you make calls, as you lead generate, talk to people, is there not going to be some growing pains for you all in order to get through that goal, to that aspect? Yes, no? So I would say yes, there's going to be growing pains, and that's expected. So just know, if you have like feelings like, oh my gosh, this is so whatever, that's actually a good thing, because we know you're moving forward and you're having the experience of being an apprentice and taking an active role in your learning versus a passive role. So that's being learning based. Step number 5 is removing your limiting beliefs. So what is a limiting belief? Who would like to kind of describe what is that concept?
I would say like negative thoughts.
Okay. Yep. Negative thoughts. Anyone else?
Things that get in the way of your goal. Or your goal.
Yep. Things that get in the way of your goal, your thinking. I would even say something, maybe thoughts that are disempowering to you versus empowering. So something that's disempowering or disempowering to you. So I want to say that, and I'm on page 12 if you're following along in the Ignite book, is that high achievers, they remove limiting beliefs from their thinking that hold them back. But notice the key word is remove. And what that means, what I see it as a perspection is, in order to remove it, even high achievers have limiting beliefs. So it's not that they get rid of limiting beliefs. They still have them, yet they have been skilled to switch them, to kind of remove them, to be, again, mindful and purposeful about switching those beliefs to be more empowering. And so there is an exercise, we're not going to go through it today, but on page 12 of how to turn limiting beliefs into unlimiting beliefs. And we use the concept of affirmations, if you haven't heard that before, but really kind of turning beliefs that you agree with where it's more empowering to you. So here's an example of a limiting belief. That's on page 12. I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I am not valid yet. I have to be an expert and know everything before I begin my business. I am not valid yet. And I'm just kind of curious, how many of you might have that belief or something similar to that right now with your business? Is there anybody? Oh, no. No? Okay. Don't be shy. I have that too when I first started. So what's an example of turning that into an unlimiting belief? Something that would probably empower you instead. Bernardo.
Adapting the mindset where you know it's okay to make mistakes and you'll learn along the way.
Yep. You know, that I'm very adaptive and as I learn from my mistakes. Yep. Who can share like one more?
One thing that helps me is just acknowledging the milestones that I've gained along the way, even though I know I'm not an expert, but I can do this, this, and this now, or I understand this about the listing agreement. So I just try to acknowledge the things that are happening that are positive for me along the way.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it's acknowledging that. So here is an example of a unlimiting belief that probably can ring true for all of you today, no matter where you are in your business. So go ahead and write this down to help you. So it starts with, I need to be a professional and not an expert. I need to be a professional and not an expert. Expertise will come from doing. Expertise will come from doing. And this training will best prepare me for success in the real estate business and taking productive action will cause my success. So I'll read that again. I need to be a professional and not an expert. Expertise will come from doing. This training will best prepare me for success in the real estate business. And taking productive action will cause my success. So I want you to be mindful through the next 12 sessions. You are going to have a lot of different unlimiting beliefs kind of pop up in your head. I want you to come from curiosity. And if you're willing, is choose one to say, okay, this one keeps repeating in my head. How can I change it to be unlimiting belief? And the exercise of writing it down, the reason why I had you write it down rather than type it is because it's kind of a neurological thing. You're physically writing a positive unlimited belief with your physical body to kind of remind it and connect it with your neurological thinking. So it's just that aspect of writing that down is going to be very impactful. And then finally, the sixth one is being accountable. So what's a definition of accountable?
Being held to a degree of truth or responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bernardo. Anyone else? What does being accountable mean to you? One more person.
Following through, basically doing what you say you're going to do, mm-hmm. Keeping your promises to people.
Yep. So being accountable, all of that. It includes that. And there is a definition of basically kind of the concept of everything in my life is a result of my choices and my actions. I own my life. That's being accountable. But also being accountability also includes involving somebody else to help you be accountable. Because how many people do you think most people have a stronger accountability when they just are accountable to themselves, or when they are able to share their goals with somebody else and being accountable to an outside person?
Share their goals.
I'm sorry?
I would say that they
Share.
if they would be more accountable if they share their goals to other people.
Yes. Right? From an outside source. So a lot of you already have an accountability partner through your coach. So that would be good. And then I would say someone outside of maybe the real estate that's really makes an impact in your personal world that supports your real estate goals. Try to find someone, if you can, like outside. So it could be a significant other. If you have kids, if you tell them, kids, if I help 5 families by the mid-quarter, we're going to Disneyland when it opens up, something like that. And if your kids are 10 and 9, do you think they will ask you, which family did you help today, Mom? Which help did you family today, Dad? So kind of like that kind of accountability, sometimes that can help you. So those are examples, but if you have a coach, definitely, kind of do that. All right. So that's the 6 personal perspectives. Any questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, the Times put out an article about New Year's resolutions, and I saw a really interesting method some people apply, in which this platform where they put in their money and tracks their accountability on the resolutions deposits money in the political party that they despise if they don't keep up with the resolution.
Yep. So that's actually good thing, right? It's like sometimes it's like what can be some part of accountability, and this could be with your coach, is that what helps drive you? Is it more of a positive consequence, or is it more of a negative consequence? Like kind of going towards pain, going towards pleasure or running away from pain. What do you think for most people kind of helps them kind of jumpstart really something? Anyone? Bernardo had said it. Run away from pain. Absolutely. So if you notice that you're trying to go towards a pleasure and that's just not driving you as much, but you still have that goal, switch it. What's going to be a consequence? A negative consequence that's going to make you so uncomfortable. It's like the pain of that is so great. I'd rather do lead generation than do that. So that's a good one. Thanks for bringing that up. So just kind of be mindful of that. All right. So right now it is 10:59. Do you guys need a stretching break at all, or do you want to power through? Stretching break? So what I'm going to actually do is I'm just going to kind of take a little bit of a stretching break for you guys. So it is, we're going to come back on my clock, it's 10:59 right now, so 5 minutes. So we're going to come back at 11:04. And I'm going to see if I can set a timer on the screen so you can see it. All right. So please be sure to come back. Hello, everybody. We're back. You guys hear me okay? Okay. So, oops. There we go. Just moving things around. Okay. So I am actually on page 19 of the Ignite Materials, Power Session 1. I'm gonna just kind of show kind of highlighted concepts, and some exercises I highly recommend for you to do to just really acknowledge what your goals are. So if you are on page 19, I don't have the graph on here. Let me switch this out for just a second and see if I can get that. The manual. Okay, so on page 19, there is actually a graph of the steps to really building success. And actually, let me see if I can pull up. I'm trying to see if I can show it to you guys so you can see it. Does everybody kind of did they download the manual? Okay, so you'll notice that at the bottom, I like this graph because it really kind of explains a lot. It says there's actually 4 parts or 3 parts to the equation for success. So what is that first part? Can somebody read that out loud? It's kind of like that arrow in the bottom of page 19. Who would like to kind of share who might have not shared before? Like what's that first part in that graph in the bottom?
Passion for the big why.
Yep, passion for the big why. And then plus, what's the second part? Who would like to share that? Or go ahead, Madison.
Sure. Following the models plus time on task over time equals success.
Yes, so there's actually 3 parts to the equation of success. Passion for the big why, knowing what your big why is. Who would like to define what's your big why?
Why you do what you do, why you're in the business, why you're showing up every day.
Why exactly? All of that. So really, why are you doing this in the first place? The second one is pretty self-explanatory. Follow the model. So kind of following a system and model that actually works. And then what is that last part? Who else would like to describe time on task over time? What do you think that is? Anyone want to venture to guess?
My guess is time on task over time is how are you using your time? Are you using it in the most effective way? Because a lot of us can spend a lot of time in what we think we're doing that's generating leads when we really aren't being very productive at all. So I would think, you could spend 3 hours a day, but if you're not getting at least one appointment out of those 3 hours in cold calling or calling FISBOs, then you really have to reevaluate either your scripts or what it is that you're doing during that 3 hour block.
That's generally the concept. Thank you, Aida. And let me kind of narrow it down. It's actually the consistency of doing that same activity over and 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 over again. This is the part, as far as this what differentiates top agents from average agents is missing one of these three pieces. So I would say time on task over time that's the consistency part. But that's a consistency with doing that one activity to a point where it's actually being dull. So has anyone heard the concept success is simple but not easy? So there is a little bit of a quote, I believe maybe Gary Keller, but I'm not 100% sure. Success is simple but not easy. There really isn't that many things to be successful in real estate, but people make it too complicated. They don't do that one thing. And so that is that thing. Like, what is the one thing that we said that really will help launch our business?
Lead gen.
Lead gen. That's a broad concept, by the way, but it's just that one thing to a point where it's almost boring. For some people, I've heard top agents, it's actually success can be boring. They think that for top agents, the success is the movers and they think success is actually the negotiating part, where it's kind of like the problem solving, the intricacy. They think that for success, for agents that are successful, they think that is for newer agents, that is kind of like the shiny object. But in actuality, if you dig down and really, what does the successful agent do every single day? It's just a handful of things they do every single day in the morning, whether they're motivated or not, is the one that's really driving their success. It's that discipline, or they don't want to lead generate, but they know that if they stop, that it's gonna make their business slide. Doesn't matter what level they're at. So kind of being comfortable with the mundane of success really is that. And that's why lead generation, and what we've seen most agents kind of fail in, it's that discipline of just doing that thing that probably for a lot of people, that's not their number one thing they enjoy of real estate. So just wanted to drive that. That's kind of a good concept, but kind of to remind you that you're not going to always enjoy doing lead generating every day. You're not going to always enjoy talking about real estate every single day. Maybe about staging all the pretty stuff, but actually finding out what people need as far as the real estate duties, you're not going to enjoy that every day. I'm going to just let you know. In fact, you're going to probably I don't want to do it today. What can I do outside of that? You're going to probably have to kind of play games with yourself just to get it done for the day. Now, if you were to do it every single day for the next 3 weeks, would you have regretted having those conversations or even attempting to do it? Right? So just kind of think of that. It's kind of playing the long game, but every short game, your mindset is going to be challenged to do this. Because for probably a lot of you, lead generation is not going to be fun. And that's okay. You get to learn what it will take to make it fun or enjoyable, or really kind of bring that purpose in. So I just kind of wanted to drive that home, is that lead generation, I don't like to think of it as lead generation right now. To me, it's how many conversations about real estate or finding out what their real estate needs are, what conversations can I have today? So questions, comments about that? Big why. Here's an exercise. Start it if you want on page 21 and 22. It's kind of digging deeper into the big why. For a lot of you, you already know kind of in general why you want to be in real estate. But these questions I really like because it really dig deeper, and not just what it is you're going to be doing for real estate, but how's it going to impact you in your life in a deeper level. And you get to discover on page 22 of Ignite, of that, how can you make that a one statement thing of your big why? And those agents that have kind of done this exercise, definitely have a different connection to their why, and it helps them drive the activities that probably is not enjoyable, like lead generation. So just to let you know, that is going to be a really good one. So let me kind of jump in now into how to set your goals in Command. And it's going to be different than in the book. So I'm going to make sure that at least I cover it, so that way you are tapping into Command. Just kind of curious, how many of you actually set up your goals in Command as I bring this up? Anyone set up your goals? Okay. So let me share my screen. So to get into Command, first off, Command is best on a laptop right now. You can do it a little bit mobile, but when the web browser you want to make sure you use is Chrome, it works best on that. So Chrome is the kind of the best platform to use it, regardless of like you're on a Mac or a PC. Agent.kw.com is the website. All right. So you're gonna see kind of Command throughout these Ignite sessions. So just to let you know, and I'm gonna move a little bit fast. So if this kind of moves faster than writing notes down, I encourage you to go back to the recording and kind of jump to this part so you can watch it. So I'm on the dashboard here, and I'm gonna hit set my goals for 2021, like right on the top in this turquoise bar on the right side. And then it kind of comes to this screen. It's kind of a guide to kind of guide you. So I'm just going to go scroll down and hit get started at the bottom. So here you talk about your GCI breakdown as basically what is it going to take to earn the profit you want. So make sure everything that you're going to enter on this screen is a lot of it's going to be on the right side. So you can scroll up and down on the right so you see where you can enter. Make sure it says year 2021. And then here is where you want to, what's going to be your annual profit goal. So we're going to calculate expenses and all that, so you know what you need to earn for the year. Here is what is your profit goal. So this is your kind of your net income, like after expenses, and also your business expenses. So here's an example for a lot of agents. Their profit goal is 100,000. Expenses is for the year, and these are business expenses, and I don't include gas. So you'll want to write this formula down. Expenses is going to be 15% of what your goal is. So if your profit goal is 150, what would be your expenses at 15%? Anyone have a calculator?
It'd be about 22.5.
Yes. So 15%, this is always 15% of this, of your profit goal. Cost of sales. So we've noticed, and we've kind of calculated this cost of sales for the people that are in coaching, especially if you start in launch coaching and then go to growth. Cost of sales is 42,000. So if you want to write that down, I think a lot of you, this applies. Your cost of sales will probably be 42,000. So the difference between expenses and cost of sales, just to let you know, expenses are business expenses regardless if you close a transaction or not in the year. So what are example of business expenses?
Buying signs.
Buying signs. Yep. What else?
Taking photographs.
Taking photographs. Yep. What else? What
To
did
be your
for a
internet
lot for, yep, internet. What else? As a realtor, what do you have to subscribe for every year?
or
The MLS.
MLS and your association dues. This also includes your office fees. Cost of sales is have to do with a transaction. So an example of the cost of sales is your cap, your company dollar cap. For a lot of you that are not on a team, that are kind of an individual agent, your cost of sales for the office should be 29,000. That includes the company dollar cap, as well as the what we call the royalty KW cap. So it's 29,000. Cost of sales here too is being part of coaching. So whatever coaching split you have, that's cost of sales. An example of cost of sales is also using a transaction coordinator to help manage your files. Okay, so those are examples of the two. Business makeup. This has to do of all your closings, how many of those transactions did you represent sellers and how many did you represent buyers? And what we've seen for our launch agents and the people in coaching is that listings is 30% of your business and buyers are 70% of your business. Obviously, if you are a buyer's agent on a team, it might be like 100% buyers and 0% listings. But for the most part, basically for every 3 transactions, you want to get 1 seller and 2 buyers. It's kind of the goal. Average commission per unit. Again, these are kind of the stats we've brought up from people in our coaching program. If you represent the sellers, your average commission, and this is again before the split, is 10,000. For buyers, it's 12,500. So that's kind of the commission, and then we're going to see how that breaks down. So here you see that. Hopefully you wrote those numbers. And then go to next. This has to do with conversion rates. Basically, a conversion rate is what percent is it going to bring you to like one step to another. So here's kind of a really cool graph to explain the different sections. Leads, contacts, appointments set, appointments kept, agreements under contract and or pending and closed units. So there's definitions there. And then you have the conversion rates here. You're going to notice the first 2 say 5% and everything else says 75%. I would leave it as is. Don't change that right now. As you do and engage in your command and in your business platform a lot more, then you'll be able to see what your own conversion rates are. So hit save and continue. And then I'm going to just hit what's next. And then go to view my goals. And this is kind of the cool part of command. Once you calculate that, you're going to see exactly what you need to do for the year in order to hit your goals. And it's thinking. So what it's going to do is actually kind of have a breakdown of your goals to, oh, here it is. So here is my 2021 goals. And this is what I need for the year. So notice the results that I want is in order to profit $100,000, I really need to close 14 units. That's the end result. Now, do we have control of the end result necessarily in the beginning? Do we have control of the end result right now? Yes or no? No, I'm going to give you the answer. We only have control of the activities to get there, right? We can't control if there's going to be closings. What we can control today are the activities we do. And so you'll notice, in order to get to there, notice that these goals here are what we need for the year. And what I really want to highlight is contacts and appointments set. These is where you have control today of how your business is going to look like. Now, leads, I'm going to kind of caveat their definition of leads here is different than probably what you hear from scripts. Leads here are basically a list of names and numbers. But not everybody are you going to have a two-way conversation of real estate. So contacts to me is a two-way conversation, meaning you talk to somebody, you message somebody, and they reply back about their real estate needs, either yes or no. This also, contacts also includes your sphere of influence, basically your family and friends or colleagues that already know you and that you just need to have a two-way conversation. So notice that for the year, I really need a push to build my database, again, in Command, is to build it to here. And then from here, I have a good chance of setting appointments. And notice they differentiate here, setting appointments versus appointments that you've held that show up. So really, roughly, how many appointments do you need to schedule for the year? Or how many appointments is this per month? I'm sorry. Roughly. Let's make it easy. Divide it by 11. About 4. So how many is that a week to set an appointment, to actually just put it on your calendar? 1 a week. Really, that's what we can track today, right? The conversations, are they allowing you to set an appointment? Now you can actually go to this year, go to this month, and then it kind of, it's not working. Never mind. It said it here, but it didn't, the contacts is not working for here. So I would just divide that by 12, right? Or 11, divide that by 11, and then break down how many contacts do you really need to engage with each week or each month. That make sense? So this number, who thinks this number feels a little overwhelming? Okay. Good, you're in good company. Thanks, Bernardo. So everybody else, that number is okay? Okay, so good, thank you. That's what I wanted to see. So just notice, break it down, and then really, how many is it per day? Because if you break it down per day, is that not doable? If we chunk it down to like really how many people per day, this right here is really the purpose of Ignite. To really build this as quickly as possible so you can start setting appointments. Because the more people you talk to, is there a better chance of you setting an appointment with them to talk about their real estate needs? Yes or yes? Yes, got it. So this is how to set the goals. I would encourage you to maybe at least look at your goals. What are your goals and how's it break down so you have a realistic kind of track of how many people you need to talk to, and then it's depending on like your schedule. So that's kind of the breakdown of the goals. Questions on that? What's your aha or takeaway in seeing this broken down? Anyone?
I'll jump in. I think it breaks it down to a more manageable, like taking what we need to get, you can break down all these hundreds of contacts into a daily manageable goal. Steven's been working on that during the morning scripts classes too. So it's been really great to see that broken down that way. It doesn't seem so overwhelming.
Yeah. So it's really breaking it down. What I love about, I know Stephen just uses one number probably to break it down. This actually breaks it down a lot more than what he does. And it shows you, the cool thing is that it can help track it for you if the more you use command. So for my example here, notice that it tells you how many year to date you have. Notice that I have plenty of contacts. So I'm going to use my database as an example. All right. Notice that I have a lot of contacts. Actually, I've exceeded like twice or 3 times as much as this. But because I don't have appointments set, this to me as a coach is showing me you don't need to lead generate. I mean, you don't need to talk to new people. You just need to keep in contact with the people in your database regularly to kind of convert to see who in your database or who do they know that you can set appointments. So as a coach, if you have this many people in your database, I'd be like, and you say you want to do cold calls, I'm going to say you're going to get better results talking to the people you know, and just break it down so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Just talk to 5 people you know a day. Because I can guarantee you talk to enough of people that you know, you're going to probably set appointments. And we practice your skills on what is your conversations to get to that appointment. So it's not always just, at first it is building your database, and then it's, okay, let's tweak it and kind of dig deeper. Then when understand that. So the first step really for everybody is to build your database. So your first step for all of you is to build your database up to 350 as quickly as possible. You will be surprised how you can find your database. You probably know a lot of people than you realize. You just haven't been able to put them all in one place. And that's really the step of Ignite. So just wanted to bring that up as far as that is concerned. You're going to use Ignite, and that's going to be on Monday. They're going to talk about build your business, which is really focused on the database. On Monday, you're going to see with Chris Spade how he built his database, like especially in the beginning when he first started his business. So any other comments about this? All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is the 4 habits. The 4 powerful habits. This is where you start building that practice every single time you lead generate. So this is the, if you were to just do one thing every single day during Ignite, this is the one thing you should do. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn about, what to say during the contracts and the consultations. You're going to learn about preparing a listing presentation, how to create a comparative market analysis. You're going to learn all that. But the one thing you should be doing every single day, or at least build that habit or that discipline, is this, called the daily 10-4. So this is, there's a very complete description on page 31 and 32 of the manual, if you're jotting notes. So the first thing is daily, add 10 new contacts to your database. And I will say, I want you to replace database with command for a lot of you. So database, 10 new people. So just kind of a quick review, where can you find 10 new people off the bat? Like even today, just 10 new people. What devices or tools do you have currently right now that you can just kind of pull from?
My Plus Leads.
Yeah, you can do My Plus Leads, but I'm gonna say let's not even do My Plus Leads. So not using My Plus Leads. Without My Plus Leads, what tool do you have today? What's the tool do you guys have kind of already available and kind of with you probably all the time?
Your cell phone?
Yes. All of you have some sort of address book on your phone. So if you go to your contacts on your phone, you scroll to the very, very bottom of the list, you're going to see how many people you have on your phone. So I want you to actually, for a few of you, do this exercise really quick. Go to your phone right now. Go to your address book or contacts. Just go to that right now. Speaking of phone, I wonder where my phone is. And go to your contacts right now, scroll to the very bottom, and you should get a total. And I'm curious, what is your total at the bottom?
307.
307, right? Anyone else? Let's start sharing. Bernardo, 1086. Love that.
439.
439. Melissa? Oh, I'm sorry, you're on
Sorry, I was still looking.
Oh, okay.
Just one sec, I'll do that.
Christine or Janine, if you
Mine says 403.
403. Okay. Christine? Popular. Yes, Bernardo's popular. He does campaign work. I'll say Christine doesn't look like she's there. So you notice, is that not a good place to start? Just going through your address book. That right there. So it counts as 10 if you just add 10 people from your phone onto your command. So the first few, it could be a few hundred, can be fairly easy. Now, is everybody on your phone going to be on that list? Probably not. You probably don't know them. And, is it possible you can call them to find out how long ago it's been that you've been connected? So that could be a really good place to start right there, to kind of build it really quickly, right? So 10 people. Now, the next step is speak to 10. Okay, so that's your phone. What is the number 2 place where you have like a huge contact list? Besides your phone.
Facebook?
Facebook can be one, yep. So Facebook people. Now you can't. Yep, LinkedIn, if you're connected to LinkedIn. I would say also your email. How many of you have emails from past?
Right here.
So go through that list, because unless you probably have a lot of different people than your phone, but you just have email addresses. That's a quick way of just building the database, right? So that can be a fairly easy in the beginning. And the E to P part is actually talking to them about real estate. Kind of challenging. So the next thing is speak to 10 people in your database every single day. Now I'm going to have a caveat on that one. So 10 people in your database every single day. You can speak to them about real estate. However, only speak to people about real estate if you've already connected with them fairly recently. So if you're going through your address book and you come across a person that you haven't talked to in a while, I would say over a year, would it be necessarily appropriate to make that first conversation about real estate? No. I would say that first conversation is just reconnecting. So you may have to split your database or kind of just reconnecting them to just introduce, just to find out where they are. So the first conversation could be about reconnecting with them. And I want to give a model as far as what that conversation can look like. It's called Ford, F-O-R-D. F-O-R-D, Ford. I'm putting it on the chat box, Ford, F-O-R-D. So these could be kind of something, as far as like reconnecting, we call it what's a reconnecting conversation. So for those people, I would say have a reconnecting conversation first. So that first one, that F stands for family. The O stands for occupation or job. The R stands for recreation or hobbies. And the D, I would say, would be dreams or goals. And maybe I would make it more purposeful and saying, what are their real estate dreams or goals? So F-O-R-D, family, occupation, job, recreation or hobbies, and then real estate dreams or goals. Now, are you going to talk about everything, all those 4 topics in one conversation right off the bat? I would say not. Just kind of re-engaging with them, re-engaging with each other. Okay. So that's kind of just a tip as far as the conversations, but speak to this 10 people. Now, the third one, this one is, it says write 10 notes. And when we say that, it can be like sending 10 note cards, or maybe sending 10 like meaningful text messages to the person, or direct message. Now, I want to let you know that the step 1, 2, 3, or the first 3 habits, add 10, speak to 10, and write 10 notes. This is kind of more of like a simple follow-up. This could be the same 10 people. So say you add 10 people into your database, you can then call them, those 10 people. And when you have the conversation, then you're following up with a simple text, meaningful text, or a note card. And I would encourage you, who likes to write note cards or send cards? Anyone? I would say that would be a very simple and impactful follow-up right off the bat. Because what do you need for a note card? In order to send it, what do you need? You need their address. Yep. I saw it. So you need their address. And do you think that a note card sticks out more than anything else right now? If someone were to receive a handwritten note card from you or a personalized note card, do you think that would stick out?
Yeah.
That's why we say it's the very impactful. So handwritten notes, there are some automated options too, where you can kind of type it out and it will send it and look like it's written, like amcards.com, can kind of send those for you, but looks handwritten. I would say those are in fact impactful. You do need stamps, of course, to send note cards. So make it a habit if you can. And then the final thing, as far as your daily 10-4, this is where you start building your expertise of the market, is preview 10 homes for sale every single day on the MLS. So I kind of want you to write that down. Preview 10 homes for sale on the MLS every single day. It's kind of like looking at like what's come up, what's new on the market. And it says visit 10 homes in person each week. I would encourage you, there's a thing called Caravan, where in different areas of San Diego County, you will gather with the local agents in that area, and they will either promote their listings for sale, coming soon for sale. So if you go to sdar.com, Is there anybody else, anybody that's not a member of SDAR? They're a member of something else?
I'm not a member of any yet. I'm waiting until I turn active.
Oh, gotcha. Got it. So maybe you can do this with somebody else. But if you go to sdar.com, there's a section in there for caravans, and you can see right now, because of the kind of shelter in place COVID, a lot of the caravans, it's usually once a week, they have it online. So for instance, the downtown caravan is usually on Thursday morning. So they have probably a link on Zoom. And then the Metro caravan, which is basically in our office, Bankers Hill, Hillcrest, Mission Hills, Adams Avenue, that area, midtown-ish area, that's on Friday mornings. And they're right now they're on Zoom. They're usually an hour. It does kind of overlap with scripts, but I think that one's on Friday mornings. So check it out. You'll be able to find it there. But I encourage you to take a look at the MLS, really, because that is your agent tool to kind of get familiar with the market. This is how you get to learn about what's coming on the market. You can kind of see how the market moves, kind of that. So really that's kind of where you want to be. Actually, I have a little bit of time. Let me actually bring up the SDAR. All right, so you guys still can see my screen, yes? So SDAR.com. If you go to, I think you scroll down. So kind of halfway through the webpage on SDAR, you see view all tours and caravans. So you'll caravan and then also broker tours. Those are kind of the acronyms or the terminology. And caravan, just kind of a little FYI, the reason why it was called caravan is because before, as a group of agents, we all would kind of follow each other in the car and caravan to each house and visit them in person. That's actually where the term caravan came from. So if you scroll down to caravan and tours, I think we're in area 1. So you can, and you'll see kind of the areas. So area 1, and then you'll get to see it's broken down by, the county is broken down to different sections. Now, keep in mind, there are some caravans that require membership or like a small fee. So just kind of be mindful. You'll see the contact, you'll see the website. I think I clicked, actually we're area 2. So we're not in area 1. Area 2, sorry. So we're in area 2, caravan tour area 2. And if I scroll down, that's right. Area 3. I can't read the map right. So actually area 3. So area 3, so notice this is the Metro. So the website for Metro is Metro Caravan. You'll see more details on that. Downtown, there's a downtown caravan website. So notice that there is, just check the website to see if they charge admission or anything like that. But I think most of them right now are on Zoom, and they promote it. So you'll see the dates and times and information. That's a good way to kind of see also coming soons. A lot of agents during these caravans, especially if you have buyer needs, probably pitch their listings coming soon even before it goes on the MLS. So you're going to see like a lot of deals can happen in these caravans before it even gets marketed, and especially in this market. So just kind of a heads up on that.
Question?
Yes.
I suppose at some point during this program, we'll have a better vocabulary and idea of what to look for when we preview properties.
Yes. There's actually a session on find and show homes.
Okay. Yeah. I know that if I were to go to now, it'd be like, that's a nice house. That's
Well,
a nice house. And that
so
would be the extent.
yeah.
Talk about it.
So right now that might be it, right? So, you know, really like kind of look at it at the eyes of curiosity and say, okay, I'll look at houses and this is nice, you know? And I just want to, and you're going to see a while like, oh, this one looks different than the other. So again, it's kind of building that experience the more you see. And maybe in the beginning, it's like, okay, maybe it's the first step of, okay, this is how an MLS listing looks like, right? So again, with your coach, you could probably learn like even more of the basics, and there's a lot of resources on that to kind of dive deep. Your learning is actually kind of right now is probably like just absorbing everything, and that's okay, right? That's why I wanted to highlight, if anything, of this whole thing, because you're going to be thrown a lot more. The more it's going to be a lot of knowledge kind of brought to you. Really try to, if there's one thing I would like you to do every single day, is learn just this part. Just learn these steps. You build this now, I can guarantee you're going to be successful. You're basically already top 20% of even the agents in our industry, in our region, San Diego County, if you just learn these 4 steps. Everything else, really, you can learn along the way, but this, most agents don't do. I would say even if any business, you kind of have to learn something like this. So Melissa, if you like really were purposeful in talking to people, adding people to like a database where you can kind of keep track, even in your other business, do you think this would have helped? Well, besides this last part, just even the first 3 steps?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So this can help any small business, not just real estate. That's really what I want you to take away. And then the skill set will happen. So really that's kind of the daily 10-4. Really try to, it's kind of progress, not perfection, in learning this. Are you going to get 10 tomorrow or by the end of the day? Maybe, maybe not. But I want you to look at progress throughout the 3 weeks of being able to build this habit and not perfection. Okay. Questions, comments? Those, I just want to kind of highlight on page, if you want to write this down, on page 43 and 44 are very specific scripts that you can practice. Basically, it's written down conversations. So, this who here plays music or likes music? All right. So if you were to, how many of you, if you were to listen to a song, could actually replicate it on a like piano or in an instrument? That's awesome. Anyone else? Like if you were to listen to a song, like maybe once or twice or a couple times, you could literally play it on an instrument or even hum it and sing it. Anyone? So Bernardo's actually kind of the one of the people, as far as their learning, can be more audible.
Auditory.
A lot of other, I'm sorry, auditory? Yeah. Auditory versus kinesthetic or visual. How many of you are more visual learners? Like if you see it, you're good. Okay. How many of you like, okay, not only do I have to see it and hear it, I need to walk through it. Kinesthetic, right? So I want you to think about that when you're having these real estate conversations. Because how many of you are going to scripts with Steven or in the morning and are able to say exactly what Steven says after listening to him a few times. So this is why we have the scripts written. I want you to have an open mindset with learning with this in following these scripts. Now, are these the exact same things as Steven? No, they are not. I'm going to tell you that. However, this is additional tools in your your toolkit of conversation, so you know how to kind of purposefully use it. So just like music, for a lot of people, if they have the sheet music, they have to practice the music with the sheet music first, right? So they know where they're, like I grew up playing piano. So I know where my hands moved. I know where to pause, I know where to like press the keys a little bit louder. But in the first few tries, I have to follow the sheet music as is. And is it the first time of following sheet music? Is it gonna flow? It's not. Is it gonna flow even the second time? Probably not. Right? I want you to think of that as scripts and these conversations that we have in Ignite. It's not gonna flow the first time you say it. It's not gonna flow the second time you say it. Probably not after the 10th time. However, do you think after saying it out loud 100 times, do you think then it starts to flow a little bit better? So I want to encourage you to, like, as far as that skill set, practice it as is. It's not going to flow the same that first time. However, practice it at least 100 times out loud. Now, am I saying to practice this with your clients and when you talk to people? Not necessarily. Probably best to practice it with each other out loud or on your own really fast out loud. And I'm purposely saying this out loud and not just in your head. Because is your conversations with other people, is it going to be in your head or actually speaking to them? I would say speaking to them. Don't try typing this out in a text message to somebody, please. Do not do that. It's not going to come out. Just looks like a lot of garbage. However, I can tell you that if you practice this conversation can literally flow in about less than 5 minutes. And that's back and forth. But you got to practice it first. So Ignite does have scripts. It has scripts throughout, not just the lead generation part, but throughout, like for handling objections, you're going to see for the consultation, things like that. I invite you to download those Ignite scripts I showed you in the beginning to really practice what to say. Okay. So, and I can tell you, we've had many success stories, agents who actually use these scripts, get an appointment or get a referral from using these scripts, even the first week of using this. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that. I encourage you to kind of just preview the rest of this manual. You're going to see things about setting up your schedule, holding you accountable, things like that. So as we wrap up, we covered a lot today. What were your biggest takeaways from today's class? If I can get 3 of you to share.
Lead generation. That'll help your business grow.
Absolutely. Lead generation is the number one thing that will help your business grow. Thank you, Chrissy. 2 more.
Consistently doing something every day as part of your business plan, like your growth plan, goals.
Yes. Consistently doing the same thing,
mm-hmm.
the thing that matters every single day.
Yeah.
Not just consistently doing business. So yes, I agree. The same thing. So, and then I challenge you, after doing it 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row, 2 weeks, do you think you're going to get antsy? That you want to switch it up? Anybody? Even after 3 days? How many of you, like after 2 days, you're like, oh my gosh. I want you to embrace that and know that about yourself. So do things like games or things like that to switch it up. Like, okay, I'm going to lead generate, but man, I can't do it over the phone. You know what? Maybe I'll walk I'll just go to the park, walk while I'm talking on the phone or something. Switch up your environment just to kind of, if that's going to be, but I want you to be mindful of that. You will experience it many, many times throughout the 3 weeks. Okay. One more thing. Thank you, Melissa. One more aha.
Being a professional, not an expert.
Yes. You all are professionals today. I'm going to tell you that. You wouldn't be part of your office if you weren't already professional. I'm going to guarantee that with you. Our office, we definitely want to set a standard, and you guys are all professional. And that starts with you guys today, and you build experience as you do more things. So I encourage you, your expertise will grow. It will. You're not going to be an expert overnight. But you guys are all professional, and I know that is the number one service that you guys can provide to all of your sphere and your friends and family and even others. So as we wrap up, thank you so much. Just a reminder, no class tomorrow, and Thursday at 10, it's Power Session 3 with Vinny. I think it is, I forgot what Find Your Business, I believe is his session. So thank you all for being here. I am so excited for you. Enjoy this journey. And if you have any questions, please, you can reach out to me. I think you can find me on the social media. Just reach out to me. All right. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Larissa. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.